Hi guys, I am back. I have brought back a video for you guys. It's been over a year. I have new techniques, new ways of going about doing my makeup, and I can't wait to share all my tricks with you guys. It has been a long time. Today I got this sexy, soft, sultry, smoky eye for you. She's serving base, and we're about to hop right into this, guys. And I want you to know, just be aware, my camera is new, so I'm getting used to it and autofocus on my arms and hands a lot throughout the video. But it's a work in progress. We're gonna get it together. This is the first one from many, so we're gonna get to this video, honey. All right, so I started off prepping her skin with the Badescu Rose water, and now I'm going in with her brows with a clear brow gel. It's the CoverGirl brow gel. Very lightweight. I just use it to brush up the brows, and I just let that dry. And while that's drying, I go underneath with a concealer. So I'm going in with concealer. It's an e.l.f. concealer in the color Deep Olive. And I'm also using the Morphe 224 brush. It is a concealer brush. It is amazing, guys. Very dense. It's not flimsy at all, which is why I really love it. And it really gets up under them brows, child. Make them real cut, okay? So I'm just going in, and this step is a great step to use if you're going to use eyeshadow, or if you would just like to cancel out your natural eye color. This is a great step to do. This just makes eyeshadow true to its color, and it cancels out your natural colors. Now I'm going to go in with this Real Techniques brush. This brush is the Deluxe crease brush. This is perfect for pressing in that concealer that you put under your eyes. It just really presses it into the skin. It gets a nice airbrushed mattifying finish. And you just press this in until that concealer is dry and matted down. And I'm also just going to go back in and just clear up anything that I'm missing. Make sure those brows are nice and cut before I fill them in. So I'm going in with the Chocolates by Juvia's Place palette. I love to use this dark brown for my brows. And it's a nice, like, powdery, soft finish. It's not too heavy. It makes the eyebrows look very natural. And it doesn't look like they're just drawn on. Like, it makes it so clean, and it's a perfect dark brown for your eyes. This is a great hack if you run out of your eyebrow pencil, or you don't have something to fill in your brows and you just want a little extra. Use a dark brown, honey. Get up in them brows real light-handed. I go light-handed strokes, hair-like strokes, and it's always easier to add than it is to take away. So remember that when you're doing your brows, add little by little, and just go in the direction of your hairs. Don't go against your hairs. And I don't take it too far up in the front heavily. Like, I might fill it in a little bit just so the brows can match, because our brows are cousins, they're not twins. So I might take it up in the front just a tad, just so it can be even in the front. But I always take that spoolie, which just has excess product on it, to help blend out the front of that brow, to give you that perfect ombre brow. Now I'm going in with a shade that is her color, and I'm going to do the top of her brows with this. This is so you don't get that halo brow effect, when you got the flash on and your brows is light on the top and the bottom. Baby, no, that's not cute. So we're going to go her shade on the top, and I'm going to blend that out with that Deluxe brush as well. And that just helps get that natural, pretty brow. Like, look at the brow. Look at the brow, okay? Very natural, very pretty, and we ain't gotta do too much, okay? Don't gotta do too much. And if you wipe it away, you know, if you fill out the top of it and you wipe it away, and or you go too low, you can always just go back in with that brush and put the brows back. And I did forget to mention the eyebrow brush that I was using. It is in the Jeffree Star collection. It is the JS7 brush. And that concealer brush that I'm using for the top of her brows is just a random concealer brush that I got off of AliExpress. They have a whole bunch on AliExpress. I just got that. It's very light and flimsy, so I use it for the top of the brows and to just do little stuff on people's face. I don't really use it too much, but it is a great concealer brush as well. So now I'm going in with my Morphe palette. I don't want to name the wrong name of this palette, but I'll definitely put it in the description box. But I went in with the color Stamina at first. It is the darkest brown. It's a very mute, like pretty brown. So I'm just starting out on the outer corners of her eye, packing that in. So you're gonna pack it in just so you can get that color payoff. Once you pack it in, then you can worry about blending out the edges, but make sure you pack it in first so you can really get that color and we can get this crease defined. And the brush that I'm using to pack that in is the Morphe M573 brush. Now I'm going in with another brush from the Jeffree Star collection, and that brush is the JS5 brush, and I'm going in the same palette in that color Domination. It's right above Stamina. It's lighter brown, and it's just gonna help start flaring out our eye look. And I'm gonna put this right above Stamina and just start blending them together and flaring out this eye so that we can start creating the shape and getting some depth. And now I'm taking another Morphe brush. This is the M510 brush, and I'm going in the color Disrupt. And that is the lighter, it's like a lighter brown, and it's at the top of the palette, and it's really pretty. And I'm just taking that to help diffuse everything. And then I'm just going back in, filling in each color so that we can get that depth and that color payoff. So where this smoky eye is going to be nice and gradient and smooth and has lots of dimension. So now I'm going in with another brush from the Jeffree Star collection, and that is the JS112 brush, and I am using the Sultry Palette. There's the darkest brown in that palette. I'm using that to start really defining the outer edge of her eye. I'm really just going into that V, and I'm just going to start packing that in so that we're starting to get that smoky effect that we're looking for. And guys, as you can see, like, my camera just kept focusing on me. And if anybody got any tips to where that doesn't happen, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's because I have it on autofocus instead of manual focus. So my next video, I'm going to try another I'm going to try another way of having the autofocus off and the manual focus on and see if that helps. But just bear with me, babies. Y'all can still see what's going on, but I apologize. I'm just going back in with those browns, and I'm just adding in the color so that we are not losing what we have created. After I did that darkest brown in that Sultry palette, I went back in with Stamina above it and then Domination above that, and now I'm just going back in with that dark brown again from the Sultry palette, just because I just want us to have this smoky eye payoff. Like, you got to keep going back and forth between the colors, but we're just doing this though just to make sure that everything is blended. We don't want any harsh lines within this eye. So now I'm going in with my Helen E eye base, and I'm using that same deluxe brush that I used to blend out the concealer, and I'm just packing that on to the eye. So a great thing about this sultry eye is that it doesn't have to have a cut crease. We're just creating a nice sultry look using the shape of her eye. So you can get as messy as you want with this because there's no defined shape. And we're just going to go back in with the eyeshadows just to make sure that everything is blended. So that's my favorite kind of eyes like this, because it doesn't necessarily need too much work. It's very beginner friendly. So now I'm going in the Sultry palette again, and I'm going in with this light, like it's a champagne type color with like some silver. It's like champagne and silver kind of mix. It's a really pretty color, and I'm just going in on the top of the lid with this color, and we are going to start creating this sexy smoky eye, guys. Like, this color is giving me life. And I just bring that into the tear ducts and all over the lid, and just pat that on. Remember, when you're applying eyeshadow, pack it on. Don't do a swiping motion. That's gonna mess up the color and make it streaky. Always use a light packing motion. And I also went in back into the palette, and I went into the color, it's kind of above the color that I use. It's a lighter color, and it's just what I put right there in the inner corners of the eye just to give it a pop. And now I'm going back in with the browns just so we can make everything smoky and flow together in real gradient. I'm grabbing that dark brown color once again, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines. And now I'm taking it and I'm bringing it above, and this is what's going to help get those eyes like the same type of shape, to where you didn't have to create a cut crease, but you can just put the eyeshadow above it. So now I'm going in with my Essence, it's like the Precision liner. It's really great liner, y'all. It helps me get up in there, and it lasts. It's dark. It's beautiful. I barely have any issues with cracking. Sometimes in the inner corner, I will say it can crack, especially if like your client's eyes are really watery. But that's the only issue that I have. Is if I have a client who has like watery eyes kind of towards the tear duct, but I think any, liner would do that. My camera cut off, so I didn't get to record the other eye, but I did the same step. Now I'm going in with a black eyeshadow from that Sultry palette, and this is what's going to create that smoke, honey. I'm just keeping that right there on the outside of the eye, starting from where I put that liner right there on the outside, and I'm just packing it in to create that smoky effects. I mixed both the colors, the Stamina and Domination from that Morphe palette, and I put them both on one brush, and I'm just using this to pack onto the eyelid, and this is going to create that gradient effect on the eye. And now I'm just going back in over my eyeliner because the black eyeshadow got on top of it, and it kind of made it disappear a little bit. So I'm just going to define that line one more time. Let's talk about these lash extensions that my good sis has. These lash extensions are everything, hunty. Like, her lash artist did that. And she got the bottom lashes to match. Like, these are everything. So now I'm going into a primer. This is the Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. And baby, when I tell you, this gets rid of all of your pores, like blur effect, filter type. This is what it gives you. Like when people be over editing their pictures and taking it and making it look like they ain't got no pores, baby, you ain't even gotta do that. This primer does it for you. It takes away all of the pores, and it just makes your skin look so soft underneath your foundation. Like, I love this primer. This is a must-have in your kit, and it sucks up all the oils. It does its job. Okay, so now I'm going in with this NARS foundation in the color Macao, and I'm using my Instapop foundation brush from Real Techniques. Love this brush. Does what it needs to do. Makes that foundation look very airbrushed, very flawless. Favorite brush, hands down. And now I'm just putting a little bit of MAC's NC55 on top of it, just because I wanted to tone it down just a little bit as far as her undertone is a little bit more cooler, and I didn't want it to look too bright, so I added a little MAC NC55 to mix those two, just so it can have that perfect, her perfect shade. And you know, we're melanated, so there's not a lot of shades that if you just put on one that matches a beautiful melanated queen. So sometimes you got to take what you can get in and mix some, just to give that color payoff that you really want to match our skin tone. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind, that sometimes you got to mix it, and it's okay. Always remember to blend down to your neck. That's really important. You do not want to look like you have a mask on. Blend down to the neck. Had to go past the chin to the neck. If C ain't taught you nothing, remember that. Just pressing all this into the skin, and pressing and blending is key to get that airbrush finish. So now I'm going back in with my concealer, that e.l.f. concealer in Deep Olive, and I'm going to take it into the inner parts of her eye, touching her nose, and I'm also going to bring it to the outside of her eye as well. This is going to give that snatched face, okay? Like when somebody just get Botox and that face is like snatched, honey, this is going to give that illusion that her face is snatched. This little trick right here. And I also take it underneath her nose. And I am going to use the setting brush from the Real Techniques. And I'm going to use this to press in that concealer and get it nice and blended and airbrushed finished. This is my favorite brush to get that concealer nice and melted into the skin. now I'm going to go in with a lighter shade. I'm going to just put those in between the eye and the nose and at the end of the eye as well. This step is very important, guys. This is what's going to give that nice, beautiful highlight effect. The first concealer was like 2 shades lighter. This is about 3, and I'm just going to go right in these spots right here, and this is what's really going to give her that glow underneath her eyes. And that shade that I used is e.l.f. Deep Caramel. Very pretty color. And I'm also going to take that and I'm going to put it on her chin, and I'm also going to put it in between her eyebrows, on her forehead, and on the bridge of her nose. Look at this skin, like, y'all, her skin looks like butter, okay? Butter. And I'm just taking that Instapot brush just to make sure that everything is blended in. Now I'm taking my black opal foundation stick in the color Suede Mocha, and I'm using that to carve out her forehead and her cheeks, and this is what's going to get that nice contour bronzy look. And I'm also going to use it on the sides of her nose as well. And I meet the eyeshadow. I take it from the eyeshadow and I bring it down on the nose. Now I am blending all of that in. I am using an e.l.f. contour brush, and I love e.l.f.'s brushes. Like, y'all, don't sleep on e.l.f. because e.l.f. be coming through with the brushes now. And this is like one of my favorite contour brushes, and it was only like $4 or $6. And the trick about getting that nice snatched look is you kind of want to bring that contour up a little bit higher to where it sits on that cheekbone, just a little bit, like a little bit below it. That is where you're gonna get that snatched, like you got them high cheekbones look, and not like droopy cheekbones. You know, some people used to bring that contour kind of low. Nah, you kind of want it to sit right on that cheekbone, a little bit underneath that highlight, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with my Mercier translucent powder, and I'm gonna put that underneath her eye, under her mouth, on the bridge of her nose, on her forehead. And y'all, when I tell y'all, this translucent powder does what she needs to do. Like, it's so soft and it melts in the skin. Melts in the skin. I cannot reiterate that to y'all enough. And I also put that on the chin as well. And now I'm going to go in with my Morphe Banana Rich powder, and I'm just going to put that right there underneath that contour. I'm going to start from that edge of her mouth, and I'm going to put it on her smile lines as well, and bring that right there on the edge to cut, baby, to cut, okay? Need her to cut. And you can see how this is just giving her that lift, that nice, beautiful, bronzy contour. And I'm going to set that with my True Complexion contour palette from Black Radiance in medium to dark. And I'm going to take those 2 shades. There's a lot. It's a dark shade and like one in the middle that's a little lighter. And I kind of go back in between the 2. I put the darker shade kind of on the bottom of her contour, and that lighter shade kind of more towards the top, so it gives a nice gradient contour. Very subtle, very pretty. Not too much, not too heavy, just right. And I just press that into the skin. Remember, you need to press it into the skin. Don't swipe, press. Babe, look at this skin, y'all. And now, excuse my MAC powder, y'all. She's hitting pan. I love her too much. I need to get some more. But this is the finishing powder from MAC in Dark Deepest. I use this to brush off the powders so that when she takes pictures, she's not going to have any flashback. And it just helps it melt into the skin, y'all. Very subtle. Just helps get her back to her color, but still where she has enough highlight. And I wanted to make sure I got up under those eyes because we do not need any creasing, hunty, not up under the eyes. And it was her birthday, so like I had to deliver. I had to give her this beat down. So all I'm doing right now is just going back with the concealer and the powders just to make sure she doesn't have any lines underneath her eyes when she looks up. I really want it to be very mattifying. I want it to look like she has no lines, no pores, no nothing, airbrushed. Now I'm gonna go in with this CoverGirl bronzer in Ebony. Very pretty color, guys. I'm just gonna go in with this just to set our contour and bronzing, and that it's so pretty. It has kind of like shimmer in it as well, and it's very pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with my Crayon case highlighter. I don't know which one it's called, so I'm gonna put it in the description below, but it is the Crayon case like gold highlighter. Very pretty. And I put that on her cheeks, like the apples of her cheeks, underneath her brows, and I'm also gonna put it right there in the tear ducts as well, just to give that extra pop. Now I'm gonna go in with my Morphe blush palette, and this is the 8C palette, and I'm going in with that color, that darkest like pinky purple color. It's very pretty. It's called Queen. Very pretty color, especially for like my melanated queens. It is perfect. Perfect color, perfect name. Sis looks beautiful. So now I'm going in with my Morphe liner in the color Trendsetter, and we're going to use this to start lining her lips, and we're going to get a nice beautiful brown ombre lip. But I just use this to fill in. I kind of go a little bit lower so that it'll give that nice ombre effect, and it's not going to give any harsh lines. So I take it a little low on the lip.
Cyclop. Red.
So she wanted a true brown, like ombre lip. And being a makeup artist, y'all, we gonna make it work for y'all. So I went in with a concealer. This concealer is the Loreal caramel color, and I just popped that right into the middle. And baby, when I tell you this ombre brown gave me life. Now I'm going in with a MAC lip gloss in the color Primordial. Very nudie lip gloss. Very pretty. Very, very, very pretty. And I'm just taking my concealer and just cleaning up her lips to where they're nice and cut and pretty and even. And then I just took a clear gloss just so I could blend it all together and make it very seamless. Y'all, look at this makeup. Oh my gosh. I live. Like, look at her. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is exactly how I wanted this look to turn out, guys. You have this nice, sexy, sultry eye. I'm also going to show y'all some videos from my iPhone. I have the 11 Pro. I need you to see this on all types of platforms, okay? I need you to see this on the Canon, and I need you to see this on the iPhone. No filters, no nothing. Look at her skin. Just look at her. Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I have so much more in store for you guys. Be on the lookout, turn my post notifications on, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye, babies.